Hello and welcome to a new video. So today I have this decent sized box here and this is so exciting for me at least. People who click on this video are gonna know what's in here because I usually make it the titles, but I got some One Direction dolls. Bit of backstory, I've been a fan of One Direction since What Makes You Beautiful was released. The first ever time I saw any One Direction dolls in stores was the What Makes You Beautiful dolls, and they actually didn't have very many. They had like lots of Harrys and that was about it. So I did pick up a Harry back then, and then over the time more lines have released. I think there's about 8 of them. I don't want them all. Then the next time I saw them, there was a Louis doll and they had like 3 of them. So I ended up picking up one of them. And then there was another line which came out a couple years later and I picked up the rest of them. So now I have 3 different lines that are incomplete and I'm now trying to complete those 3 lines. Here they are, so let's get into it. Okay, so just a bit of a pause. It ended up really not being a box at all. It's a shoe box that's not even closed. So let's continue. So the seller listed these with a tiny bit of damage, so I knew the boxes were a bit crinkled on the corners from the photos at least, so I'm hoping that's still only what they have. So let's look at them. The first one I have here today is this Liam one, which I think is the first release of dolls that came out, but I actually didn't really want this one. I wanted the other 3, but this one came with the set that the seller was selling. So far it's in okay condition. We got a bit there in the corners as shown, little dent there. But here we have Liam. There is a picture of Liam here with the 1D logo. Down the side we also have the 1D logo. It says collector doll and another picture of Liam. And on the back we have 1D logo again and a picture of One Direction on the back. There's a little bit more of damage on the bottom, but at least most of it's on the back so you don't see that. But we have the Hasbro and the Modest copyrights and the 2012 this was released. Here is the first one of one of the ones I actually wanted, and he's not in the condition that the photos showed because he has fallen out of his headpiece, which is okay because I do need to open the box and push that back in there and put him back in his place. When I got my first ever Harry, this was the line he was in. And I did open him, but I kept his box pristine and I put him back in there. But he's not tied up back to how he should be. And I have been searching for the ties to put him back in to how he should be. So I'm just going to have to do the same to this Liam. His name is at the top here, with his artwork down here again. There is the 1D logo on the side. Picture of Liam on the side, the 1D logo again, picture of One Direction and another picture of Liam. And here is the bottom of the box with the 2012 copyright with Hasbro Modest again. Here is the third doll and he is actually in place, still tied up with his ties there, so that's better. So we have Zayn's name here with the Zayn in his box. We have a picture of Zane, the 1D logo. There is a bit of damage in this corner. The 1D logo and a picture of Zane on the side. The 1D logo again. The same picture of One Direction as Liam's box. And a solo Zane photo down there as well. With all the same stuff on the bottom, except for saying Liam above the barcode, it says Zane. And the very lucky last, he's not even attached. He's been taken out by the looks of it. Because there's not even the tags or anything. They are a little bit damaged, but they are a bit more damaged than what the photos showed, because they did have photos and I did study them before I purchased them. And I did know that there was some damaging, but I didn't know that they weren't actually in their boxes properly. So we have Louis here. His name is at the top with a picture of Louis here, the 1D logo, and a picture of Louis down the side. Fun fact, I actually had all of these pictures as posters. They were like really big posters, and I got all 5 of them. We have the 1D logo up the top of the back, the same picture of One Direction as the other 2, and a solo picture of Louis. And the bottom of the box is the same, apart from above the proof of purchase, it says Louis. Here is an overview of the 4 dolls that I got today. Funnily enough, the one that I probably don't have to actually get into is the one that I wasn't wanting in the first place, and possibly the Zane, because he's okay. But these 2, I'm going to have to get into and fix, just like I need to for my Harry anyway. So I now have 4 of these ones. I'm only missing Niall, so that's good. I do have a Niall, he's just another collection. I'm on the hunt for finishing my collections, and this has been not the greatest, but still okay. It's okay. If I get these 2 back into their proper positions, they will look perfectly fine. I'm happy, at least for now. I took a photo of me getting into Louis' box. So he was completely taken out of the box originally from the actual owner, even though they said he was not, because you can tell when the bands break and just disintegrate, and they usually stay in the box, and all the back of the box, the tape and the bands and everything was pulled out already. I did mention earlier that I had taken out my other dolls out of their boxes originally, so I had to get the bands and place them back in properly. And as I was doing that, their clothes were a bit dirty, so I did give them a wash. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have enjoyed.